Well, hello friends and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. This is a TIME Alpe D'Huez 01 road bike, and in this episode I'm going to give you the buyer's guide for this bike, and then at the end I will tell you should you just go ahead and buy it or should you just consider it. So if you want the best quality carbon fiber frames and forks in the bicycle industry, you have to buy Time bicycles. They are just superb, they are in the league of their own. And specifically, when you look at the manufacturing process of Time bicycles, they have two proprietary technologies. One of them is the so-called braided carbon structure, where they can basically weave the dry carbon fibers into a complex so-called bidirectional socks, and then these socks can easily be turned into a full carbon fiber frame. It's a truly astonishing process of manufacturing, and I strongly recommend you to have a look at their videos on the website about the braided carbon structure. Also, they have the so-called resin transfer molding technology, which avoids all the air pockets and voids inside the carbon fiber frame. That's why the quality control and manufacturing knowledge of Time is literally out of this world, and nobody else comes close to the quality of their carbon frames and the forks. So this specific model, Alpe D'Huez 01. Let's first answer the question, who is this bike for? So you see, Alpe D'Huez 01 is the lightest carbon frame and the fork that Time produces. So this bike is all about lightweight, climbing and stiff machine. So if you are in the market for this type of the bike and you like climbing steep mountains, then definitely you should have a look at Alpe D'Huez 01 road bike from Time. Also, I will mention here that Time is mentioning that the total weight of their frames for this bike is below 900 grams, which is absolutely superb. So that's why I'm telling you lightweight climbing stiff machine. As you see, the retail price is $8,300, and I will just mention here that, of course, since Time produces excellent quality carbon frames and the forks, you can buy the frame set on its own, and then it's going to set you back $4,400. So you can definitely see the quality of workmanship in their carbon frames and the forks. Okay. Retail price of $8,300. Of course, it's eye-watering, but let's start with the paint schemes on this bike. So what is Time offering you? Luckily, Time is offering 4 paint schemes on this bike. There's this very classical, totally blacked out bike. Then you have this beautiful kind of metallic silver with a hint of white, and then 2 beautiful paint schemes, which is this metallic blue with a hint of black, very classical paint scheme, and definitely my favorite one, red with white and black. And as we all know, red is the fastest color, so you should probably go with the red paint scheme. Okay, so jokes aside, let's dive into the specifications of this bike and really see what do you get for your hard-earned money. As always, we can kick off with the frame and the fork on this bike. It is a truly excellent carbon frame and fork, and the frame is made of their mixture of high modulus and high strength carbon and Vectran, of course with their braided carbon technology, braided carbon structure with the forged carbon dropouts. Also the fork, a mixture of a carbon and Kevlar with the forged carbon dropouts. I will mention here that there is of course internal cable routing available on this frame. There is the 12mm through axles both front and the back, and also flat mount disc brakes. Maximum tire size you can fit here is up to 30mm, totally fine for a proper climbing machine, and this bottom bracket shell is the BB386 standard. There's definitely not going to be any creaking noises from this carbon frame because the quality control and the manufacturing standards are top notch on the Time bicycles. Now we can dive into the components on the bike and see what do you get here. So we can start with the handlebar and the stem. So the handlebar is the Deda Super Zero aluminum handlebar, and also the stem is the Deda Super Box stem. So both of these pieces, first of all, are aluminum pieces, and they are separate pieces, so nothing is proprietary here. super easy to adjust your position on the bike, and very easy to replace any pieces in the future if you want to upgrade something. As I said, these pieces are aluminium, no problems here. I wouldn't be worried about that. And personally, I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even bother upgrading in the future to the carbon fiber handlebar. I just think it's not needed on these levels of the bike. Okay, now let's talk about the saddle and the seat post. So you see, the saddle is the Repente Kazar saddle. I can't say that I've ever used these saddles, and since saddles are a personal preference, if you like it, great. If not, it's very easy to replace. Seat post, Deda Super Zero carbon fiber seat post, 27.2 millimeters, standard stuff here. I'm glad that TIME has included the carbon fiber seat post just because it's going to soak up so much of the smaller road bumps. So this is absolutely excellent. Now let's talk about the braking system. So the braking system comes from SRAM, SRAM Force hydraulic disc brakes with the SRAM CLX braking rotors. 160mm braking rotors front and the back, which is absolutely excellent. And I would always advise you in the future, when you destroy these braking rotors, always keep 160mm braking rotors, preferably from SRAM, again, just because of the compatibility with the whole hydraulic disc brakes. As I always say, 160mm braking rotors have so much better heat dissipation and stopping power than the 140mm rotors, so definitely always keep 160mm braking rotors. Now when you look at the shifters, front mech and the rear mech, everything is SRAM's Force XS wireless group set. So this is a 12-speed wireless group set from SRAM. Absolutely excellent wireless group set, no discussions here. Very clean on the bike, of course, because you don't have any cables, and the battery is situated inside the frame. So everybody who has used the SRAM Force XS group set is super satisfied. There should be no problems with this. Also, I will mention here that when you look at the crankset and the cassette, so the crankset is the SRAM Force crankset, 4835 chainrings, and this is paired with the SRAM's XG 1270 cassette. So this cassette is 1033 cassette and 4835 chainring. So definitely, as you see from here, you won't have any problems in climbing steep mountains. You have enough gear range here. But also keep in mind, in the future, when you destroy this XG 1270 cassette, a new one will probably set you back around $180. So it is a beautiful piece of engineering and looks stunning, but once when you have to replace it, be ready for a bill of approximately $180. Of course, when you are having a full SRAM Force group set, the bottom bracket here is the SRAM Dub press fit bottom bracket. As I said, there's going to be no creaking noises from this bottom bracket because the quality of carbon fiber frame is just creme de la creme. It is astonishing. Chain, they didn't cut corners here. Again, SRAM Force chain. And again, I would advise you in the future to stick with the SRAM compatible chains. Any 12-speed compatible chain is going to be fine. Now let's look at the wheel set and the tires. So the wheel set comes from Head, and this is the Head Vanquish RC. I'm guessing RC Performance Series. So starting price from this wheel set is $1,750. It is a carbon fiber wheel set from Head, handmade in the USA. You can choose the rim depth of 40 or 60 millimeters. In this case, TIME is probably using the 40 millimeter wheels. This wheel set has 21 millimeters internal width. It comes with the Head's GP Performance hubs front and the back, and of course it is tubeless compatible, and it has of course 12 millimeter through axles both front and the back. I will just mention here that when it comes to the weight of this wheel set, front wheel is going to be 760 grams and the rear wheel is 900 grams. So all in 1660 grams for this carbon fiber wheel set. Absolutely excellent in my book. And as I said, both hubs are the Head's GP Performance hubs, so should work perfectly fine. I have no complaints here. So very good carbon fiber wheel set included on this bike, and this wheel set is also wrapped in the Goodyear F1 tires, tubeless ready tire. This is a 28 millimeter tire, which is excellent. A lot of air volume inside and really a smooth bike ride. I would definitely advise you in the future to stick with the 28mm tires from whichever brand you like. There's so many good of them on the market. Specifically, these Goodyear F1 tires are excellent tires, and you don't see them so often on the bike. So everything top notch here, absolutely no complaints. I wish that Time has given a total weight of this bike in some kind of size, medium or large, but I would definitely expect it to be on the orders of maybe 7.5 kilograms, including the pedals, because this is their lightest carbon fiber frame and the fork that they are producing. So all in all, in a summary, the retail price of this Time Alpe D'Huez 01 bike is $8,300. So what is my advice to you? I would definitely say, if you got this money, this level of the money, you should definitely go ahead and just buy this bike. It's an astonishing piece of carbon fiber work. As I say, creme de la creme carbon fiber frames and forks on the market come from Time bicycle. So definitely, if you got the money, go ahead and just buy this bicycle. So I think this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!